Welcome to Synchrony, building a conscious connection to your intuition. Synchrony is a way of deciphering intuitive cues. By connecting your intuition, you name what is preventing you from living your soul purpose. Let's talk about how to listen with your mind's eye. How do you learn to trust what you know without backing it up with facts? And how can you turn that knowing into understanding? By listening to your intuition. Our intuition is a thread that weaves through every aspect of our life. It informs our actions, even when we are not aware of them. Although how we gain information through intuitive awareness is mysterious, our intuition is a practical life tool. It can provide practical assistance by doing things as simple as finding errors on a spreadsheet or helping us find the right words to say to someone during a conversation. By responding to our intuition, we deepen our understanding of who we are and take the next steps on our journey of purpose. So, how can we learn to be more aware of our inner wisdom? I think the basic step is by getting to know ourselves. When we become more aware of our internal monologue, that ongoing conversation that we have in our head, we hear not only our judgments, assumptions, and beliefs, we hear the voice of our intuition. And by listening to our inner wisdom, we are better able to sift through the judgments and assumptions. We are able to minimize their impact on how we interact with the world. And when we minimize those reactions, we are able to respond. And that is a byproduct of listening to our intuition, a direct result of listening to our intuition. So, where do we start? Our emotions fuel our internal monologue. They are beacons alerting us to what we want to ignore. And our physical body has so many systems in place that are trying to get our attention. Our heart rate may increase, our blood pressure may dip, our breathing changes, our stomach might feel upset, or we might feel a shiver down our spine. Those all are brought to us by our intuition. They are saying, pay attention. So it's important to realize our bodies speak to us 24/7. When we finally listen, we clue into what our intuition is saying. When we connect to our intuition, we are more aware of what's going on in that moment. And in that moment, through our awareness, we see how our intuition is informing us, is informing our actions, our thoughts, and our words. We may begin to see how we are unconsciously using our intuition to respond because we're not always aware of what our intuition is saying to us. Sometimes we respond out of it without even knowing why, and it's only later we realize that it was the cue. So within the moment, we begin to put together pieces and solve the intuitive puzzle both unconsciously and consciously. Sometimes that solution is instantaneous. It's like finding the error on the spreadsheet because our eyes are automatically drawn to it. It might be being frustrated because you cannot alleviate the suffering of a person, but suddenly the right words come out of your mouth. Other times we receive an intuitive cue and it takes a little longer to unravel it. For example, maybe someone said something that bothered us. It wasn't the words, but something else that caught our attention. Our intuition gave us this piece. It said, you being uncomfortable is a cue. It's a clue. Now it's time for you to decipher the message. The next step is to take a look at, become very aware, and ask yourself, what other intuitive cues do I have that I might be missing? Maybe we discover upon reflection that You heard something in the tone of the person's voice. Maybe the words didn't add up. What the person was saying, the words didn't make sense, the message they were trying to convey. Maybe you had a physical reaction like a cold sweat, a shiver down your spine. We might not have put all of these pieces together unless we got quiet and really listened to what our inner voice was saying to us. This quiet listening allowed our intuition to tell us exactly what was of concern to us. So what I found is we've got all this information, so what do I do with it? Sometimes when I process it in my mind, it just gets more and more jumbled. So sometimes writing about the experience really helps put our inner wisdom into perspective. It's that kinesthetic intelligence of writing. We begin to connect other things. We begin to understand different things. Sometimes taking a walk will do the same thing for me. Again, it's the kinesthetic. It's the walking that does that. Other times I just let go of the experience and go on throughout my day. The important thing is when we trust the key points will surface, our intuition will begin to seep through the cracks of our being until they make sense. The better we get at allowing our intuition to surface, the easier it becomes to listen with our mind's eye. This is all about getting out of the way. It's being open to what our intuition is saying to us and not trying to interpret it based upon our previous experience. So increasing your intuitive awareness means being okay with what you are receiving intuitively, even if you can't quite figure it out. It's important that you identify that you are receiving something intuitively. Remember, it's all about being aware of what our body, our mind, and emotions are telling us, and then waiting patiently for the other pieces to appear. I want to thank you for watching this video. Like it, share it with your friends, but most importantly, use your mind's eye to listen to your intuition. If you're interested in learning more, check out my other videos on YouTube or go to my website, www.intentandaction.com. Have a terrific day.